excitement here in South London with the arrival of the European champions, and that mast, incidentally, here at Crystal Palace is the mast through which you're getting your pictures today. Well, they've got the same name, they've both played for England, and between them they cost something like £1.5 million. Trevor Francis on the right there, who cost Crystal Palace just under £500,000 from Queen's Park Rangers, had a sizable part to play in midfield for Crystal Palace that's helped the team to third place in the table. Trevor Francis cost that £1 million when Forest bought him from Birmingham City, and although he's played 13 times this season, it's a bit surprising to find that he scored only 4 times, but he still shines out for all to see. The Palace side for this game is still without striker Mike Flanagan, still got a hamstring injury, which may account for the fact they've scored only 9 times in their last 10 games, and not at all in the last 2. But manager Terry Venables announces an unchanged side to face Nottingham Forest. Forest's recent unimpressive spell has been well publicised. It's surprising to find that they've not won in the last 7 away games, and they're still without skipper John McGovern in midfield. He's got a leg injury, and Brian Clough decided that he'll field the team that drew at West Ham in the League Cup in midweek. It's worth looking at both goalkeepers. John Burridge of Crystal Palace on the left there, openly admitting he used to travel miles in the Midlands just to stand behind Peter Shilton's goal to watch his techniques, and when John's had a problem, Peter is the first man he'd ring for goalkeeping advice. The referee today, it's Alan Robertson from Hampshire. And it's Nottingham Forest in all dark strip of red who get us away, attacking the goal to our left. Palace in their customary white strip with that red and blue band diagonally across the front. And here is Trevor Francis getting a cross in early on, and it's Paul Hinselwood tucking it away for the corner. Palace unbeaten at home in the league this season. They've lost here against the Wolves in the League Cup. Forest, who've lost 5 of their last 7 away games. Now with a corner to be taken by John Robertson. Floated in there, Burridge coming for it with a fist, getting it away. And a good little break there by Peter Nicholas, finding Vince Hilaire. Murphy is up, and Walsh was in there as well, but it was stopped first by O'Hare and then by Burns, and here's Trevor Francis. That's an interesting ball there. And of all people, Jim Cannon, the skipper, right up there in an attacking position very early in the game. Gilbert battling away well. Anderson. And Shilton quickened up there and found that there was a throw available quickly here for Frank Gray. Francis coming off his man beautifully and showing a bit of pace and finding O'Hare and looking for the return as well. Sansom's there just in time at the expense of a corner. O'Neill with the corner, and an in-swinger that had Burridge in a lot of trouble there, and in the end it was Nicholas with a header who got it away enough for Palace to have a slight breather. A really good corner though taken by O'Neill, putting Burridge in all sorts of trouble just for a moment, but he coped well. Sansom heading that one away, but only as far as Anderson. A flick through there towards Birtles, and they're looking very lively indeed, our Nottingham Forest at the moment. O'Neill with a shot, just past. Looking really dangerous in that spell, Forest. In the end, Martin O'Neill delayed the shot, thought he could find a better position, but wide of Burridge's post. Sansom. And now Swindlehurst. Deep cross there towards Nicholas. Gray has missed out completely. Nicholas with a shot. Well saved by Shilton. Applause all around there for the shot and the save, but the mistake was Frank Gray's, giving Nicholas the chance of a shot. And Shilton coming, there was a mass of bodies there, and away! Well, it was Nicholas who very nearly, with some quick thinking, as that corner came in, and Shilton, heavily outnumbered, still managed to get a fist to it. Couldn't get a lot of distance on it, and it was returned, and he was struggling really just to get that back over the bar for another Palace corner. Murphy again with it. Again Shilton is there, and he hasn't got it, but the whistle has gone. Well, he's really been in the firing line. Robertson. And away goes Francis. Cannon there. Cannon now for Palace. That's an interesting ball and quite a good one there, but Murphy couldn't quite get on the end of it. Francis can though. Now Francis again slipping in there as Lloyd went through, and Francis angry, and it's going to be a yellow card for Larry Lloyd. Well, he was cautioned verbally a moment or two before, and as Francis went through to try and just nick that ball through to a teammate, Larry Lloyd was there again, and this time it's a yellow card. And a break by Walsh onside, and Shilton out quickly, and Burns kicking it away. Well, there was some quick thinking there in the first place by Walsh. What a good break it was by him, just onside, and how quickly Shilton spotted the danger and made it difficult for him. Walsh nonetheless got it past him, and Kenny Burns was back to do the retrieving job. So Francis with another corner for Palace, and not a very good one, going straight to John O'Hare. Here's Hilaire. Palace bench on the left, the Palace substitute Terry Fenwick. And now Hilaire. That's a good run, that's a good pass to Walsh. A chance for him here, he delayed for a moment, and it's gone in! Oh, the mistake was Shilton's. Walsh has put Palace into the lead, and a collector's item too, because somehow, although it was crowded there, and Walsh did well to check and then find a way to get a shot in, a collector's item because look at Peter Shilton there, and into the back of the net, just over the line in fact. Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and Ian Walsh the scorer. Birtles getting a corner off Jerry Francis. Robertson with the kick. Frankie Gray turning it here for John Robertson again. There's a bit of space here for Gray. And now it's absolutely deafening here now as Hilaire takes it up. Trying to flick that in once more for Walsh, but Shilton is there. Birtles. 2 minutes to half-time. O'Neill. I must say it's a tremendous ground for atmosphere when things are going well for Palace, as they are at the moment. Anderson turning it in there. Oh, and O'Hare, and it was eventually Peter Nicholas who hooked that one away for Palace. It's with Frank Gray. Robertson. Gray. Curled in across there towards Martin O'Neill, and linesman, I think, was flagging. Was he for an offside? Well, Crystal Palace were saying this week that they've yearned for more than a year to play teams like Nottingham Forest and Liverpool, to see what they can do. They play Liverpool next week. They're playing the European champions now, and they go in at half-time. A goal to the good, scored by their number 9, Ian Walsh. And he worked hard for that goal. But of course it was, you wonder about Peter Shilton on his own admission. Peter Shilton himself saying he's not having a particularly good time of it. And although there were players all around him, that ball nonetheless crept through him, maybe through his legs, and just over the line to give Palace that priceless one-goal lead at half-time. A lot more to come on the big match today. A half-time score then here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and we'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace now in the white strip attacking the goal to our left, leading Nottingham Forest 1-0. And since Palace have conceded only 4 goals in their last 7 games, it gives you an idea of what their defensive capabilities are, and really the task might be quite a hefty one for Forest at the moment. Murphy. Oh, good reactions that time from Shilton, because it was deflected right at the last as Murphy went in there. A little action and a safe grab after that readjustment by Peter Shilton. Robertson. And now O'Neill. Robertson. Bowyer. Frank Gray on the far side. Attacking Jerry Francis there. And really attacking him, but leaving the ball behind, which was a problem. And Francis getting himself out of trouble well, finding Jim Cannon. And a long ball for Walsh to chase. Kenny Burns is there, getting in and nodding it back, in spite of a push in the back, which caused the linesman to flag, but the referee quite wisely saying play on with Forest in possession. Robertson with a little cross. Francis. Going so well there, Francis. This could be dangerous. It's coming back to Robertson, and it's saved right on the line there by Burridge. Beautiful run there by Francis, and Hinselwood realised that if he tackled him there, he could well have conceded a penalty. He had to take the risk and let him go. And it was cut back by Francis for Robertson. Lloyd nodding it down as far as Murphy. A real test for this young Crystal Palace side now, coming through it well at the moment. Is it Swindlehurst, faced by Larry Lloyd. Oh, and this might come for Hilaire to hit one, and a good save by Shilton. That fell superbly for Hilaire. And Shilton got superbly positioned behind that one. And it's true at the moment they don't look the Forest of a year ago. There's something missing. I suppose it might be easy to say that Archie Gemmell's departure has left a gap in the midfield, just as Tony Woodcock's departure has left a gap up front. There's certainly something missing somewhere in this Forest performance at the moment, and that in no way is denying Palace a lot of praise for being a goal up at the moment. And certainly the fellows who've got to sort out if there is a trouble, Peter Taylor and Brian Clough. Well, here's Birtles, and now here's Francis. Of course, he wasn't there a year ago either. Stopped right at the last by Sansom. A corner to Forest. Martin O'Neill with his corner. Larry Lloyd's gone up into the 6-yard area. With a little flick on there, and flick down. Well, it was Francis who got a header in, and somehow it was knocked off the line there, and here come Palace. Well, that was so close to the equaliser there for Forest. but at the moment they've got to do the defending to do. As Walsh takes it up, the red shirts have got back. Walsh has got past them, floating in the cross there, and Anderson knocking it away for the corner. Good break there by Palace, but how close they came to conceding a goal at the other end when the corner was taken. A lovely little flick on, I think it was by Birtles at the near post. And Francis nodding it in and cleared off the line. Well, here's the corner then with Francis, or rather with Anderson at the post there with Swindlehurst. Murphy finding Nicholas, driving one there. What a good save! What a good piece of football. Peter Nicholas whacking that for something like 25 yards, and Shilton just getting up and tipping it over. It's with O'Hare. And now it's with Robertson. Lining up a shot, and down goes Burridge. Well, was bouncing a bit awkwardly there as it reached the 6-yard line from Robertson. Burridge beautifully with his body behind it. And in fact, it's going to be Jerry Murphy who goes off. He's going around the back of the goal. I certainly had an impression, though, that there was a number 8 put out in the first place, as though it was Jerry Francis coming off. So Terry Fenwick, a midfielder. Sansom now to Cannon. Gilbert trying to get Swindlehurst on his way. Birtles on the break for Nottingham Forest, with O'Neill on this side. It wants a good pass, and it's got it now. Can Martin O'Neill finish it off? There's the shot, and Burridge has got it and lost and got it again, as Trevor Francis came in. Right in the end, and Palace could have been denied a win when that ball was sneaked through by Birtles beautifully there for Martin O'Neill. Hit it first time, the bobble upset John Burridge, but he grabbed it at the second goal. Back by Jerry Francis, no mistake there. 2 minutes. Anderson played in again there for Francis. And Billy Gilbert this time holding him at bay, but Francis finding O'Neill once more. Getting into the box there, put across there. Birtles tried to stick out a foot and get a shot in, but again Palace get it away. Only as far as Francis, though. Clipped in there once more. The Palace defenders were lining up to get that one away, but here's Robertson. Tried a shot across the face of the goal. Burridge getting it well and grabbing it that time, which he had to do with Francis so close. Into injury time at the end of the game now. Both linesmen have signalled to the referee that 90 minutes is up, and Palace are on the verge of a very important win that will tell them so much about themselves. It's with Walsh, the man who scored the only goal of the game. And the Palace fans are already beginning to celebrate. Out of play. Final whistle. Up go the arms and up go the cheers from the Palace fans. Their team have won. They've beaten Nottingham Forest 1-0, with Ian Walsh, scorer of the only goal. And that could be a very important win for Crystal Palace, who've got Liverpool to come next week at Anfield. But they learned a lot about themselves today. Forest, not quite the side they were of 12 months ago, but any scalp against the European champions is one worth having. A really fiercely competitive game, and two goalkeepers showing their camaraderie as they go off as well. A final score then here at Selhurst Park, and it's Crystal Palace 1, Nottingham Forest 0.
And indeed there were beaming faces all around Crystal Palace after that victory, and when you look back over some pretty troublesome times the club have had in the last 5 or 6 years, well, you can understand the pleasure that the regular fans got from beating the European champions. And Palace's captain, Jim Cannon, well, he's known some bad times himself at Selhurst Park. He went from the first division to the third with them and back to the first again. I asked him, though, about the performance yesterday.
Yeah, I thought we were superior in every department, and we could have scored maybe another 2 or 3 goals, so we were a bit disappointed just being the 1 goal up, but we're just glad to get 2 points anyway.
And yet it was a funny goal really that won it.
Yeah, Shilton's been getting a bit of stick lately. I suppose we're getting a bit more after that one. It was really a bad mistake by him. Ian done well beating the guy on the line, and I thought he miskicked it really, and maybe that deceived Shilton a bit.
But also there were a lot of players around him. I mean, he couldn't have seen it till the very, very last.
Yeah, I suppose there was one of his own defenders was right in front of him, but I'd have been disappointed if John Burridge would have let that in.
Yes. I think you were saying this week that everybody was looking forward to meeting Nottingham Forest and then Liverpool because you'll learn so much about yourself. You've been wanting to play these games for so long. What have you learned today about Crystal Palace?
Well, we've learned that we can win this championship. I think that we're good enough, and if we keep performing the way we did today, and I think teams tend to be frightened of other teams, but especially against Liverpool. Nottingham Forest are having a bad run, so it was on the onus for us today to go out and beat them. But it'll be a big test of our character on Saturday, with Liverpool sort of going great guns. So if we can get something up there, I think we'll definitely have chances in this division.
We've learned we can win this championship, says the Palace skipper Jim Cannon. But what about Brian Clough? Well, we've seen him often enough as a winner. But what's it like being a loser? But I asked him first what he thought of Nottingham Forest on the day.
I thought we played well enough in the second half to have got a draw and possibly to stand us in good stead for the rest of the season.
It was that crucial, you think, the performance today?
I think it was crucial in the sense that we've lost away games and we've lost, home games. And it's not normal for you to be talking to me, being manager of a side that's lost, several games in the last few months or whenever it is. Having said that, for 25, 35 minutes, I was absolutely delighted with the performance. Having said that, we did still lose.
But yet I remember in the past you've told me you should sometimes talk to losers because you learn more about the game that way.
Well, I would hope so. I would hope you talk to every, aspect of the game, Brian. We arranged this talk at 2:20 before we'd lost. Win, lose or draw, I would have been here.
What did you feel about the goal that decided the game?
Not too happy from our side of it, obviously. It was a little bit sloppy. It appeared a bit sloppy. But we're never too happy with any bloody goal that goes in, so it makes no difference.
I'm sure that Peter Shilton will be blamed for it. I mean, do you hold him responsible?
By whom? You?
Well, I think by a lot of people who are surprised to see a ball go through his legs, of all people.
Did it go through his legs?
I think it did, actually.
Well, are you blaming him?
Well, I think there were a lot of people around him. And let me say I was surprised because he seems infallible.
If it went through his legs, it was an absolute disaster for him, poor lad. I can't think of a worse thing to happen apart from you hitting me over the head with that microphone, or me literally putting it into you, for a ball to go through Peter Shilton's legs. Tragedy for the lad. Absolute tragedy. And he was immaculate for 90 minutes apart from 1 second. In football, players play bad balls, people miss open goals, people do all kinds of things, whether it's your metre or my level, but a goalkeeper, it's there forevermore. I can't believe it went through his legs. If it did, I'm certain it was my fault, because he's been the subject of terrible criticism in the last few weeks, and particularly this morning through me, or so-called through me, where people are blaming him for us conceding goals. What a load of bloody rubbish. It's the people who don't know the game that say anything, and they blame the wrong areas. And Peter Shilton's no more to blame for our recent semi-disaster by our standards than I am.
Have you ever had a run like this?
Me? I was dropped once when I was a player for 5 weeks, and I've had as bad a spell. She said, of course, we'll survive.
But where would that be? At Hartlepool? I mean, because when you think of Derby County and you think of you, I mean, ignoring Leeds and Brighton. I mean, at Forest as well.
But you shouldn't ignore Leeds and Brighton. It's part and parcel of my career. We've had as bad a runs as this, and we'll get out of them as quickly as we did do, and we'll go on to win other things.
I think a lot of people who admire you are sorry to see it happen, but you must be aware that a lot of people are saying, damn good too. I mean, I'm pleased to see that he's got a problem.
I think we have a particular, you know, feeling within this country that anybody that gets to the top, it's nice if they come down to earth occasionally. I've never, ever not been down to earth, even when we were winning things. One thing that people do say to me is, you've never changed. I shall see you next week, and the week after, and the month after, and the year after, and I shall put a trophy in front of you.
All right. Well, around that time, both men were being interviewed on the radio programme Sports Report, and Brian Clough spoke of management needing to work harder to get Forest out of trouble. Peter Taylor apparently took exception to that, and hence that talk of a rift between them. Well, today I spoke to Peter Taylor. A rift?
There's no way that there's a rift between us. From time to time, Brian, like myself, I'm just the same. Off the cuff, we say things which, not damaging is not the word, which obviously deflate people. We say it about players, we say it about most people. I'm as guilty as Brian. Hey, I've been on the phone with Brian this morning about a player deal. We rift. If you'd have been on the bus back last night, Countryman got beat 1-0. It's absolutely ridiculous, Brian, regarding a rift. We always call a spade a spade. If Brian wants to make references that gets reactions from me, everybody else, hey, he's quite entitled to. That's always been the case. I often say quotes that he reacts to, and I reacted to that one. There's no way. The only person that tried to drive a wedge between us, and he failed miserably, was a fellow called Sam Longson. Without those together on the matters of interest that matter that football, it's unbelievable. It's the happiest match of all time.
I think that quite clearly answers that point about a rift between Clough and Taylor. Well, at this point, we take a short break. And after it, we've got Middlesbrough against Southampton. Some wonderful goals as Ipswich play Manchester City. And there's your letters as well.